Welcome to the second screencast of the Exponents and Surds revision for my class. We're going to be using some index laws to simplify these following questions. The first one here, multiplication rule. With the multiplication rule we need to add the powers. So we have r squared plus r cubed plus r, not plus, they're times. And that r on its own is really a r to the power of 1. There's one lot of it there. So this will be equal to r. So for multiplication we add the powers. 2 plus 3 plus 1. So that will be equal to r to the power of 6. For the second one here, we have a division thing here, so m to the 12 divided by m to the power of 3. When we have division, then we subtract the powers. So this will be equal to m to the power of 12 take away 3, which is m to the power of 9. For this third one, we have brackets, so what happens with the brackets is we would multiply the powers. Only what's inside the bracket is multiplied by the power outside the bracket. So in this case here, this is equal to 2 multiplied by, I'm just going to put that times in just to separate the bracket from the rest of it, p to the power of 3 times 4, and that will be equal to 2 p to the power of 12. And just as a little bonus explanation in here that I'll throw in while I'm thinking about it, is if we had something like 3p cubed to the power of 4, then what you would need to do with that is you would have the 3 to the power of 4 and the p to the power of 3 times 4. So that would be equal to 3 to the power of 4 is 81, p to the 12. Or similarly, if we had 3 squared p cubed to the power of 4, this is really going to test me out here, isn't it? This would end up as 3 to the power of 2 times 4, and p to the power of 3 times 4, which will be 3 to the power of 8, and p to the power of 12, and I can't be bothered working out 3 to the power of 8 in my head at this point in time. You won't be asked anything that hard in your test, but it's 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 8 times, if you wanted to go through the process of working that out. For the next question, what we need to do is firstly collect the like terms together. So it's going to be a cubed times by a cubed, that's equal to, then we've got that b in there as well, so times by b cubed. Now with our like terms, we go a cubed times a cubed is going to be a to the power of 3 plus 3 times by b cubed, and that will be a to the power of 6 and then b to the power of 3. On to the next question. For this one here, anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So if we have x to the power of 0, that's equal to 1. If we have y to the power of 0, that's equal to 1. In this case here, everything in the bracket, so they've all got powers of 1 inside the bracket, so 3 to the power of 1, m to the power of 1, n to the power of 1. When we use the bracket rule, we would be multiplying each of those by 0. So everything in the bracket is going to become 1. So this will end up equaling 12 times by 1, which is the bracket, so the whole bracket here, because it's to the power of 0, equals 1. So that's just equal to 12. For the next one, we've got a couple of rules that we need to apply. So we've got a multiplication part here where the index rule is we add, And then we've got the divide part where the index rule says we take away the powers. So this will end up being c to the power of 5. For the multiply we're going to go plus 4, and then for the divide we're going to take away 2. So that will give us c to the power of 5 plus 4 is 9, take away 2 is 7. And to the next one. This one we've got a few steps here to simplify it down. So firstly, we'll go, with the first bracket we've got a power of 1 with the 4, so that will be 4 to the power of 1 times 3. And then we have the m to the power of 4 times 3, the 3 outside the bracket. And then we have the n to the power of 3 times by the 3 outside the bracket. So that's just expanding that bit out there. Times by m to the 5, n to the 4, all divided by, same thing down the bottom here, we're going to have 4, 1 times 2, m 4 times 2, and n to the 5 times 2. So we'll simplify all of those things there. So we're going to have 4 to the power of 3, m to the power of 4 times 3 is 12, n to the power of 3 times 3 is 9, times by m to the 5, n to the 4, all divided by 4 to the power of 2, m 4 times 2 is 8, and n 5 times 2 is 10. Now we apply our index rules to everything here. So conveniently we have a 4 on the top and on bottom, so it's divided by with the bottom, so we're going to have 4 to the power of 3 take away 2. So that's the 3 and that's the 2 that we're taking away. And then this will be m to the power of, firstly we've got a 12, and then again on the top line this is multiply m to the power of 5, so we're going to have a plus 5 for that one. And then we're going to take away the 8 down the bottom here. And then we deal with the n's. So again up the top we've got n to the power of 9 plus n to the power of 4, and then down the bottom is a 10 that we're taking away. And that will give us an answer of 4, 3 take away 2 is 1, so it's just 4. M, 12 plus 5 is 17, take away 8 is 9. And n, 9 plus 4 is 13, take away 10 is 3. That's our answer to that one. That's the end of this slide, of this little show.